State of Origin Game 1 on its way, boys.
Let's go.
They've just dropped both team lists, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on both New South Wales and Queensland. Let's start off with the lesser of the two. New South Wales. Jeff, who do we have?
Fullback James Tedesco, wings
Boo!
Tall and Josh Adokar.
Yep.
And our centers, you got Latrell Mitchell and Turbo. Halves is Luai and Cleary. 9 is Coruscant.
Let's hold it right there, actually. So let's first off, right off the bat, boys. What are your thoughts there about that squad? I want to go to Jeff first because he's a New South Wales supporter.
I don't know about Josh Adokar. I
Yeah.
think Campbell Graham got snubbed.
Yep.
Josh Adokar
Didn't he?
first game back from injury and he gets selected straight away. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Didn't Campbell Graham withdraw because of an injury?
Yeah, so I don't know if that's why he wasn't selected in the
Yeah.
first place, but I think that if Campbell Graham was healthy, he still wouldn't have been selected. So I think last year's series, New South Wales missed a speedy winger and they missed
Yeah.
somebody like Josh Adokar. So they're probably going into this series thinking that they need that speed. But wouldn't you just go with the player that's more in form? I get the Campbell Graham injury, so he did kind of rule himself out. But I think Campbell Graham still would have been snubbed if he was healthy.
Nah, I think he would have played
You
if
reckon?
if he was 100%,
Yeah.
he would have played. I thought Critter deserved a look, maybe in the centres, but then obviously with Turbo's form,
Yeah.
the last
One
week,
Yeah.
in the last 7 days,
In the last
Yeah.
80 minutes.
in the last 80 minutes that he's played, it was hard to look past him. But Campbell Graham, I think he would have 100% been in if he was fully fit for the game. Adokar, I think New South Wales have learnt their lesson when they dropped him. Like with no real, his form took a dip, but there was no real reason why
Adokar
he didn't
brings
play.
The vibes.
Yeah.
Hey, he brings
He's-
the vibes to the camp.
he's the Queensland heart in the New South camp.
Yeah,
like he's that passion. Like I'm here for it, and then Latrell's there,
Yeah.
so
Latrell, mate.
they usually get along quite well. So
Yeah, now that you have Josh Adokar and Brian Tall, it's gonna be vibey in
Yeah.
that campaign.
that's that 2021 team,
Yeah.
but basically.
Anyone else in that, maybe in that spine you think shouldn't be there, or you're happy to see there?
Surprised to
Damn
see
Cook, eh?
Damien Cook not being named. Damien Cook, like he hasn't played horrible, but he's not in career best form.
Yep.
So if Api Coruscant getting selected makes sense,
Yeah.
but my concern is having one hooker,
Yeah.
whereas Queensland they have two. You know.
Yeah.
We'll
It
talk
could
about the
it could
Queensland
work
team later,
quite
but-
well, but I think honestly, it was to make way for Hines.
Yeah.
I
So-
think there was no way they were gonna not pick Hines,
Mm.
but then it was kind of tough to take Hines, Connor. Cook and
And Api.
Coruscant. So
Yeah.
it
So
was kind of it was actually between. I think Coruscant actually was safe.
Yeah.
It was between Cook and Hines.
Yeah.
So Cook loses a spot essentially because of Hines.
Right.
Cleary and Luai keep their pairing at 6 and 7. Were you guys happy about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You gotta keep.
It's
the
just
combo
where
together.
they're gonna bring in Hines. This is
Yeah.
what I don't. Yeah, I think they might look at pushing Luai into 9, because of the two, Luai's the only one who's played
Better nine.
Yeah,
yeah.
better
a bit of
nine.
9 before.
Which makes sense.
yeah,
Which makes sense. But to me, I'm like, why select Hines at 14?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
better
yeah,
as a
yeah.
starter when he's in
They
the
might
flow
as
of the
well, yeah.
game.
So who knows?
So
who
like,
knows?
like hypothetical, let's hypothetically, if New South Wales are getting belted, what do you expect Hines to do?
Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna
It's
come
kind
on
of
and what? To want him to run around and like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
Like
It
it doesn't make
is.
any sense,
So
right?
But if you are getting pumped, you would prefer bringing on Cook than bringing on a Hines.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
that's where it kind of gets a little bit tricky.
Because at least with Cook or if Apio came off the bench, they can help in the middle.
yeah.
Whereas Hines, like, he's an effective tackler. He can run the ball hard. But what
He's not
impact is he going to bring if they're already losing the game? But I guess if they're winning, he'll bring some magic,
Yeah,
right?
he might be the
yeah.
nail in the coffin once,
for
like
sure.
just to close it out. But still, it'll be interesting if Luai does get a look at dummy half, or if he starts playing 9, because then he could play a Ben Hunt role, similar role. So it'll be interesting for him. One that it could be a gamble.
Yeah.
It could be a gamble, not just for New South but for Penrith. Like if he gets injured in the
Yeah.
middles.
A few surprise selections on their bench, and
Well, if I read out the rest of the team, so in the props, before Chris interrupted me, in the props, it's Tavita Pangai Jr. and Payne Haas. I'll read out the rest of the forward pack and then we can react to it. It's TPJ, Payne Haas. In the edges is Tyson Frizzell and Hudson Young. And then at 13 is obviously Isaiah Yeo.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on TPJ? That one.
it's a wild card, eh?
That's a wild card, eh? And then it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
eh?
it doesn't either.
It
I try to
doesn't
figure
make
out
any sense
where they're
to me.
going with that pick. I think someone said it was to get an enforcer in the pack
Yeah,
or of some sort, but
Right.
I still don't. I don't see why they went the TPJ route over someone like DeBallin,
right, exactly.
who's been like he's been
playing.
he's
really
been a
good.
horse in the last
And he's
like,
been in the arena before.
and he's
too.
played. Yeah,
He's
so
played
I
for
don't
Legends.
know. Maybe it could work out. And maybe it's time for TPJ to just actually establish himself
Yeah,
and find some older form that he had when he was at the Broncos. But
yeah.
I
Aaron
don't
and
know.
I were talking about the squads earlier today at work, and we were talking about the Jakey, right?
Yeah.
Not being
Gerbo.
Gerbo because of his injury. So if you want to select somebody that's like for like, why not take JDB? Why not take Jack
Yeah.
DeBellin?
Yeah.
and he's
TPJ is far from from they're not
Yeah.
they're not
He's
even
your-
closely to the same player.
yeah. JDB's more your Cotta and your
your
Carrigan,
workhorses,
your
yeah.
workhorses that
your
will play.
battlers, eh?
Your-
But
but-
TPJ is definitely a wild card. Look, if it works out, Fittler is a genius.
I think
If
Um,
it doesn't, he's an idiot.
Freddie and Billy Smith must have had a mutual agreement to have one hot head each and decide.
Yeah, exactly.
CBJ versus Flegg. Like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then on the bench you got Junior Polo. Obviously, I think Junior Polo is maybe gonna start.
I think
We'll
so.
see.
Yeah, him and TPJ might be
Yeah,
just.
so Junior Polo, Cam Murray, Liam Martin, and then obviously Nico Hines.
Hudson Young.
So Hudson Young is apparently the starter.
Oh,
we
gee.
don't know
Liam Martin,
what the
yeah.
final team list is for
I,
that game.
when you mentioned the bench, I can kind of see why they went down the TPJ route.
Yeah, it's a
Because
light. It's
yeah,
a light
because it's a
bench.
light bench, but also your Jack DeBellins and your like Liam Martin, they're all the same type of players
Yeah,
with your with Murray and them. So maybe it was like a little bit of hot head and a little bit of flair
yeah,
and something unsuspected like from TPJ. I think that's probably why they've gone. Because Payne Haas, they're all similar type player. Eh? They're all your
That bench to me just tells me that's all attack. Like
Right.
if you look at that bench, it's Nico Hines, who's an attacking player.
yeah,
Hudson Young,
yeah,
he's not known for his defense, so more of attack.
Mm.
Tyson Frizzell on that sort of level, you know.
yeah.
So that to me says they've got their defense sorted and they only need an attack to
Yeah,
like
the
they're gonna
thing
win
about
with
this
attack.
squad, like what you're just saying, yeah, it would make more sense because I've seen some other team lists where Hudson Young and Tyson Frizzell are coming off the bench, eh?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would you bring on Tyson Frizzell and Hudson Young to go through the middle
Yeah.
as edge
Each
players?
yeah.
They're primarily players who play second row.
Yeah.
How do you want them to come and?
But then
impact the
so is
middle?
Murray and Liam Martin. So it's kind of
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can trust. Like I'd rather
Co-
trust
yeah,
Murray
Murray
coming off
in
the
the middle,
bench
yeah,
because
to play the middle.
he's got their leg speed through the middle, right? So and he's actually played 13 before. Liam Martin often plays middles for
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Panthers,
yeah.
so that makes sense.
So it makes sense to start
Just
Hudson Young and Frizzell.
Yes,
Frizzell.
that makes the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
sense.
for
But
sure.
like Hudson Young being selected over Olakwatu was kind of that was a 50-50 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
one could have
was-
went either way
Yeah.
for me.
I understand why Hudson he's been in try scoring form, but
So what do you
the
think?
last
What do you
few
think was the
weeks.
difference between them? If it could have gone either way,
Honestly, it's the last through 2 weeks.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like Hudson Young's really like the Canberra
Yeah.
Raiders just before they got pumped by Manly,
Canberra
like,
Raiders
we're
were on
on
a
a
5-game
roll.
winning streak.
and he was right
He
in
was
the middle.
instrumental
yeah.
in the 5 games.
He
that
was
won.
pivotal in their success in
Yeah.
the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think there's some really good analysis there, especially for a losing team.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very much.
On to better and brighter things.
This is where I stay quiet because I don't really give a crap.
Wait, any snubs in that team besides Campbell Graham?
Any snubs?
Matt Burden maybe.
Yeah, but
Matt
where would you
Burden,
play
Critter.
him?
You
It
could
doesn't
say
make
sense.
JDB was another one too.
Yeah,
JDB,
Cookie.
Cookie.
Cookie,
Oh,
yeah.
Cookie,
Cookie.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Fittler loves his 80-minute.
Oh, Edwards, your guy.
Edwards. But Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy and
Teddy
Teddy
and Tommy in round 12.
They want
Like,
to play
they
the
just-
best games of their lives the week before.
They're
Origin,
just
eh?
teasing. They're just
Bloody-
teasing.
It's scripted, man.
That
The
does-
NRL's scripted.
Does Edwards get a look in if New South Wales can't seal this?
Probably
motion?
not.
Does he get a look in next year?
'Cause-
Or not? Are we sticking with 39-year-old Tedesco?
If-
Honestly, even if Teddy gets injured, they're moving Turbo at the back or they're moving Latrell at the
that's
back.
why.
Yeah.
So it's like
but that's
he's not even
that's
in
why New
the.
South Wales have been
Yeah.
so because they don't select the right players for the right positions.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. Time will
Also,
tell.
what I was telling you guys before, Luai has to have the best game one. Hey, he has to have his game one, the first game. He has to absolutely smash it because people are already calling for his position anyways.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, he has to come out, and New South Wales have to win.
They lose game one, which is highly likely.
Stop.
What changes do you make for game two?
I personally wouldn't do this, but I can see it happening. I can see Nico Hines starting at 6 because
Honestly-
people have already been asking for Nico Hines to start at 6 anyways.
I disagree. I think Luai just needs to play his game. He doesn't need to do anything more than he's already been doing.
But what if they lose?
And even if they lose, and he plays really well, I think they have to go with they have to look at the combinations around him, because it's a proven halves pair.
Yep.
They've won multiple
Premiership,
premierships. They've won a state of origin.
Yep.
They were standouts in game 2 and 3 last year, or
Right.
Luai was a standout game 3 last year.
Yeah.
So honestly, New South Wales need to build continuity more than they need an easy fix.
So
Right.
what if they go down 0-2?
If they go down 0-2, then sack the whole lot. then clean the rooms, clean the
Look,
club rooms.
we're
and
Pull
clean
out
the
your Queensland jersey.
Look,
no, I won't be like you and pull out your Queensland jersey.
We're
But
talking about a lot about what ifs, but I think it's valid questions to bring up.
yeah,
because
for sure.
there
And
have
I
been
wouldn't-
a lot of people that's
Yeah.
off Luai, but
And saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the plug on Luai.
yeah,
If
for
they
sure.
even if he doesn't do too well game 1 and they still win.
I know it's not ideal, but like the way Queensland brought the new halves pairing through, like Cherry Evans, Ben Hunts, as
They were-
when it was Thurston in the Cronk era, Deli Cherry Evans and co were coming off the bench
Yeah.
playing a middle role. They're
Right.
playing through the middle. I don't know if you can do that with Nico Hines, stick him in the middle, and because defensively he's not the
So,
greatest.
Yeah,
But I think that's the way forward. When eventually one of them, would go down or move on. They've already in the squad. They've
Right,
played
right.
in the middle, and they eventually move into the halves.
yeah,
Just how Queensland did it.
yeah.
If anything, it could be the combination moving forward,
Yeah.
like of the three,
Yep.
and then Hines just play a Ben Hunt role, and then slowly thing him in.
So overall thoughts on the squad? You like it?
Yep.
not too bad?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, we'll just see how game 1 goes. Eh?
Yeah.
Maroons in 2.
My radio show.
Now we've already had a quick chat about New South Wales,
Yep.
and the Blues are shaping quite well. On to the champs.
Onto the top.
On to the eventual champs. for
Onto
this
the
year.
chumps.
Queensland, the Maroons.
Yep.
Jeffrey.
Want me to I'll read out
Let's
the
hear
back
the
say,
squad,
and then
yeah.
we can react on the back line.
Okay.
At number 1, Reece Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
Your wingers, Sawan Cobo and Murray Taulangi. And the centers, Val Holmes and Tabuai Fido. And then in your halves, you've got Munster and DCE. Yep, we can react on those.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts?
We'll shoot to Aaron for this one.
Yeah, straight away, notable omissions. Kalen Ponga and Gagai out.
Yep.
And for Walsh and Walsh and Tabuai Fido.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of dumbfounded by Kalen Ponga not getting picked.
Yeah. Especially what he did in Game 3 last year.
His record speaks for itself at Origin level.
Right.
But as the day went on, I started to warm to the idea of Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
I think just if we're going off last week alone, Reece Walsh has been stellar for the Broncos the whole year.
The whole year.
So far. But just off last week alone, I think everything that Penrith threw at the Broncos, and especially Reece Walsh, he was like coming down with everything.
Yeah.
He was catching all the high balls.
Yeah.
He was there. His positioning positioning was excellent throughout the game, and I think he won the fullback role off that performance alone.
Right.
And then when you go over to the Knights' performance and what KP came with, I think
Giving the ball away.
giving the ball away, they got knocked
That sealed
out
it for
again. I just think, and also I think Queensland were doing him a solid for his own health.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
Protecting.
I don't think he was up to scratch
Yeah.
to play in game one. I think he'll play a part in this series, but I just think for game one he wasn't ready to go.
Yeah. The one thing I love about Walshy is that he gives effort every single play. He tries so hard. And you can see it when you watch him, eh? Like, even when the Broncos are behind, he tries to do something. He tries to get them back into the game. That's why he makes so many errors, because he's trying. It's not just it's not just dumb errors, because he's actually trying to make a play for the team.
Yeah.
Like against the Panthers, he made some silly errors, but it's because he's trying. It's not like your typical you catch the ball and you're dropping it. Like he forces a pass or two because he's trying to create a play. Walshy's effort is you can never fault his effort. I think it's warranted in terms of what you're saying, protecting Kalen Ponga from himself.
Yeah.
I think sometimes the clubs or the organizations, they need to step in and protect the players from themselves, because the players are always going to want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always want to get involved. They want to be around the boys. They want to be in the environment. But often it may not necessarily be the wisest thing for you to do. And I'm happy that they did this on behalf of Kalen Ponga, just for himself, for his health, his longevity as well, because he's the superstar of the game, and you don't want him to retire early at a young age.
Yeah, for sure.
So Reece Walsh, what do you think about Taulangi? That Taulangi one was, I don't understand Taulangi getting selected.
Who would you take over him?
I can understand it now. Because obviously my predicted squad, I had Tibuai on the wing, which to me now doesn't really make sense, because your wingers are pretty much a second forward. They take the second carry.
Right.
Yeah, he's not
And
that guy.
Taulangi is someone who can bang up to 200 meters.
Yeah, okay. But instead of Taulangi, why not just select Dan Gagai and put him on the wing and let Tabuai Fido play center?
Yeah, so Dan Gagai getting snubbed was still...
Like, that's the biggest snub of them all. Everyone knows Origin Gagai is a thing.
And because I listened to the press conference and Billy was saying, obviously he had his defensive issues,
Yeah.
but Val Holmes wasn't coming off the best week either.
exactly. Stafford To'a was doing Val Holmes like he was a child.
So I don't really understand that. I mean, like you said, Gagai's been in the arena. He's done it before.
Exactly.
21 times.
That's
23 times.
Yeah, and that's what Queensland have always been. That's what they've always done, is selected players because they're loyal to the player.
Form or not.
Like Gagai has had worse seasons than this, and he's been selected. And he's having one of the best years of his career, and he's not selected. It doesn't
he
make
play
any
his
sense.
best on the wing anyways in Origin?
Yeah.
So
He
one
was
of
on the
his
wing
best
last year when Cobber went down.
So I don't.
It's nothing against Murray Taulangi, but he's in an underperforming team, and he's not in form right now. And like that whole team is not playing well, but Murray Taulangi is one of them. And so it doesn't make sense. Like, I'd rather pick that Gagai, put him on the wing, and let Fido play in the centers if that's what you want. But that Taulangi selection just doesn't make sense to me.
Who else would you have taken if it wasn't Gagai? Who else would you look at?
You know who's been playing in form? Xavier Coates. He's been
I was
playing
surprised,
really. He's been playing really well for
Yeah,
the
You know what?
Swans.
I'll take
I
your
would've
other boy.
taken-
Your other boy, Philip Sami. Over
Yeah.
Phil Sami.
Phil
is
Sami,
even-
He's been in
man.
good
Yes.
form. I know we're gonna get roasted in the comments for that, but
But
he's
Nah,
been,
bro.
Phil
Phil
Sami is an
Sami.
origin hero.
if you're a
Bro.
league who's been watching league, he's
Yeah,
been carving.
he's actually
And
been
he's
really good.
meter eater. Like
Yeah.
from the back, he's like
But I think
he
if
munches
Oates,
those
if Oates
yards.
was fit and still playing right now, he would be in that squad
over Taulangi.
over Taulanga,
Yeah.
over
Yeah, probably.
Oates or Coates.
What about any of the young guns you would give a look?
I think they got the back line right. Like apart from the Dane Gagai.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xavier Coates. What do you reckon? Do you reckon your boy would have been selected?
Yeah, I
Or
think
should have been selected,
I would have
sorry?
taken him over Taulangi.
Yeah.
I think that it was good to see Tabuai Whitera in there based on his form that he has.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, he's been playing really well at fullback.
Yeah.
And just see what his
Positional change,
effectiveness
yeah.
is at centre. I mean, we know that Traumit can do that.
Yeah.
And he's done it for the past few years, so it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, because I think he'll be marking Chalmers, so
He will be,
Mm.
yeah.
that's going to be a challenge in itself. And I know in 2021 or something,
He locked up Turbo.
he locked up
Mm.
Turbo, but Chalmers when he wants to play,
Yeah.
he's a different level. He's different.
Almost unstoppable, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But it's good to see. Like, I don't think like the players that we mentioned, like the Gagai thing is just doesn't make any sense. Eh? I'll go into the forward pack. Ben Hunt 9, obviously.
Dozer.
You got Dozer at 9. You got your props Thomas Flegler, which is a surprise. Lindsay Collins, and then in your edge positions you got Tom Gilbert, David
Caught it.
Fafita, and then at 13 you got Pat Carrigan. Thoughts on the forward pack?
Yeah, straight away, Tommy Flegler in the starting lineup. I quite like it now. Now that we've seen it.
I
Yeah,
feel like you like things as
Yeah, well,
They
gradually.
grow on you.
Well, because initially, when Papa announced that he had retired, I instantly thought to put Christian Welsh in.
right.
But after that game on the weekend with the Dolphins, I didn't see too much from him.
Mm.
And Flegler, the game he had, he went after the leader of the Penrith pack and James Fisher Harris,
Right.
and he pretty much
dominated.
he dominated him.
Yeah.
And now that he's obviously named in the squad, I quite like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a wild card. Like
Yeah.
when we were doing our predicted lineups, I never
Yeah,
thought that
yeah.
Flegler was even a part of the mix. People were talking about your Cotters, your Corey Horsburghs,
Yeah.
Christian Welsh. No one brought up Flegler,
Yeah.
not even us. But it's good to see him in it because I guess it's to match TPJ.
Hot head
Like
versus hot head.
Them going against each other is gonna be fireworks, man. That's gonna be crack up to watch. Anyone else that you think should have, like David Fafita?
Yeah.
He's in career best form in my opinion.
Yeah, he's
He's been
finally
carving.
finding
He
it.
has been he's been carving up
Capewell
this year.
missing out.
Warranted.
Yeah, I think
it's
you guys
warranted.
mentioned that last time in
Warranted.
giving
Yeah.
us form.
That was before I watched game 2 and 3, and he was dominant, man,
Yeah.
especially in game 3.
Right.
So
Capewell
knows?
does step
Could
up in
be
the
a gap.
Origin arena.
Yeah.
I think if Queensland don't win this game, he's gonna get recalled back into the squad.
The
in
only
my
thing we
opinion.
lose though is because there's bound to be injuries in Origin,
Right.
and I think I've been on 3 occasions where someone in our backline has gone down and he's moved into centers and done a job.
Yes, for
That's
sure.
the only.
He's really
very
versatile.
Yeah, so that's the only issue. That is if someone goes down in the backline, I don't know. Can Fafita play in the centers?
I don't know, but I'd like to see that.
If
We'll see.
Kaufusi didn't get suspended, does he come in for Tom Gilbert at the other edge spot?
I think he comes in for me personally. I think he comes in for Fafita, and Fafita comes off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because on the bench you got Harry Grant, Tino, Ruben Cotter, and Jai Arrow. Who misses out then?
I think Tino might even start over Flegler. Yeah, it's probably
do you
just
think
the
Flegler misses out?
I think Jai misses out.
You think Jai misses out?
Yeah, I think Jai and Tommy Gilbert are like for like.
Right. So you think they would have?
It would have been
But-
either Jai or Tommy. Give me
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Do you
to
know
me.
who caught my eye in the last few weeks? Jaden Saw.
Yes.
Mm.
Like, I
Yeah.
honestly thought
Yeah.
that he was pushing a spot
Yeah.
just based on his form in the last few
Yeah.
weeks.
Shout out to Jane Saw from Logan Brothers.
You guys played together.
Logan Brothers.
Bogan
But
Brothers.
he has been playing really
But
well.
he is, So,
Yeah.
honestly, he could if he keeps up this form. Game 2 could be, depending on the injuries, he
Yeah.
could be a real.
Man, that bench you named It's deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Deadly,
a deadly
but-
bench.
Like the same concerns you had for New South Wales, the bench being light. Do you think Queensland have the same concerns?
They're safe in the middle because they got Harry Grant.
Because if you
Yeah.
think
That's
about
the like.
think about the bench makeup.
That's
You've
the
got Harry
difference.
Grant, right? Which is Harry Grant is Harry Grant. He picks himself. Then you've got. Well, if we're saying that Tino is gonna start and Flegler comes off,
off. the
then now
bench.
you've got Jai Arrow and Cotter, who are not the biggest of bodies. But I guess the game nowadays is all
But
about leg speed and
Cotton's
playing the ball.
Like
late.
so- Cotter's proven,
if,
yeah.
if we go the New South Wales bench, right? Hines. Who do you think? Hines.
Hines matches with.
If it's
Grant,
Hines,
I guess.
Frizzell,
Bogle.
Hudson Young, and who's the last? I can't remember who. They don't all play in the middle.
Polo.
Whereas Harry Grant,
Mm.
Ruben Cotter, Tino,
They all
and
play
and
in
Jai
the
Arrow,
Yes,
they
they're
all
middle
bang
players.
and play in the
Yeah.
middle.
Were there any snubs for Queensland? Like as just in any position? Corey Horsburgh? Nah, that's warranted. He don't make it.
Nah.
eh?
No, yeah,
Nah.
maybe.
Christian
Definitely.
Walsh.
Oh, I think like I'm biased because
Yeah,
he's a Storm player,
Yeah,
but he's like led our pack all season.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think
for
he's played
sure.
really
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Christian
yeah, he
Walsh.
did-
He just came back from
Really
injury, so maybe
he-
it's that.
Yeah.
He has
He has to get a few games on those.
he did get shut down in the last game
yeah, yeah.
because they grub. Because they grub. Yeah, you heard me. They grub. Nah, it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah, so yeah, I think Christian Walsh, that one, I think he should have started over Flegler, in my opinion.
Just
But-
real quick, where do you think this game will be won, or like, well, how do you
On the scoreboard.
see? Nah, no kidding, Sherlock. No, but how do you see this game? Like, you've heard the packs now,
Mm.
you've seen, or you can kind of see what the teams are putting together and kind of their game plans. Where do you see this game going? Or like
Queensland
predictions.
have by far the better forward pack.
Mm.
It's not even close, in my
Mm.
opinion. But the continuity of the Luai and Cleary combo,
There's Penrith
Teddy
and Uppy.
and
Yeah,
and
and
Uppy, they've all played together. So that gives me a little bit of hope for New South Wales, is that they've still got that. Whereas Reece Walsh, he hasn't played with Munster and DCE before, so that could be a little bit of a change up. Because Walshy plays really different from Ponga.
Mm.
Because Walshy loves to get stripped the outside,
Yeah.
but Ponga loves to use his footwork to create space.
What about you, Chris? How's
Yeah, I think as a Queensland. Can't even say
as a
supporter.
Queensland? He goes as a Queensland casual.
Queensland, I mean, now that Cooper's gone, you know. I think that if anything, like you said, Queensland's pack looks solid.
Solid, man.
And then you have DCE, Money, and Dozer.
Mm.
Harry Grant coming off the bench. I mean, it's
Oh,
hard
bro.
to, in my opinion. And New South Wales are still figuring out what they want to be
Yeah.
and who
life.
they want in what
Yeah.
position.
But that's it, eh? Like
Yeah, it
Queensland
is.
have an identity,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and New South don't. That's
Even
their
when they
issue.
didn't have an identity,
Mm.
like, and they brought a whole bunch of new players, they
2020.
they're
Yeah.
still the jersey actually just.
But
Spoke
yeah,
for the,
I think
worked
we had a
for
good
us.
conversation before, off air, offset. But Paul was offset. But Paul
Sad
mentioned, like I
offset.
said, you know, in my opinion, it's one in passion.
Mm.
It's not necessarily about who's the better player. And he was
Yeah.
like, it's actually about pressure. And more often than not, Origin games are won based on who's more passionate and who can handle the pressure.
Right.
And
That's-
not really
Great
about
point.
who's the
Yeah.
who's better positionally.
That's such a good point.
Hey,
That's actually the philosophy for any rugby, even union and
Mm.
league. It's the team that manages pressure.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay, on attack, if you can apply pressure,
yeah.
enough of pressure to break the defense
All
of the
these
other
players
team,
are talented,
then
eh?
and then on the other flip side, on defense, if you can apply pressure as well and defense and shut down space, then that's where the
Yeah, that's
and then the other one
a
is
really good point.
whoever can
Mm.
hold momentum and swing it in their favor.
Mm.
That's rugby 101,
Yeah.
and that's a nutshell. But for me, I think it's one in the New South pack. If they can turn up and
Yeah.
they can actually dominate, like they can rely on their backs to actually
Yeah.
finish it. So if New South forward pack actually get up for this game, there's no way they can stop Penrith. Oh, sorry. New South's New South's backline. So
New
yeah,
South
that's
Panthers?
where I think it's one. It's one for New South. If their pack can get up, and then honestly their backline will finish.
Sorry, Azza, before I come to you, when I say that Queensland's pack is far better, Like, look, New South Wales, they have great props.
They're
They
not
have
far back.
Bolo and halves.
They're not far off.
Like, I'm not saying it's that much. Like, I'm over exaggerating, obviously, but it's just the pack as a whole. And like what Chris alluded to before, is that they have an identity and that they've been together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's just that Reece Walsh hasn't been there. So, Azza, what are your thoughts?
Pretty much the same philosophy as Bo. I think if Queensland had to win, our forward pack have to dominate.
Right.
I think Munster, Cleary, Munster, DCE and Dozer, along with Harry Grant. I think that's it's a combination that's going to work for years to come.
Yeah.
They took that's the spine that also went to the World Cup.
Right.
Obviously, DCE played a few games.
Yep.
And for Cleary, but yeah, it's just trying to fit Reece Walsh into our spine.
Right.
And trying to make that work.
And I think he slots in there nicely.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then even that, like, good thing you have a coach that was a fullback.
Yeah, that's really
like
true.
you had
really
the great
true.
one of the GOAT fullbacks as your
The
origin
GOAT
coach.
That's really
So or
Yeah.
like the GOAT fullback.
Yeah, so like what you're saying, I think if we're to win, our fullback needs to dominate
Yeah.
and dominate well, and
Yeah.
then obviously we can play off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. New South Wales outside backs, they
Yeah.
Charles Mitt
Yeah.
of the Fires.
Yeah.
But trial mitt, Tommy, that means nothing if your forwards are going backwards.
Really
So.
true.
And if you've got a terrible hammy. All right. That's about us. Shout out to
That's
the
it.
Trebojevic brothers.
Except
The handshake
Burbo, who really done me dirty.
Queensland,
Burbo, you got me.